Happy New Year, everybody. I'm going to call, thank you. I'm going to call to order our Municipal Heritage Committee meeting at 4:38 p.m. I'm looking, there's a recommendation that the agenda for the Municipal Heritage Committee dated January 13th, 2026 be approved as circulated. Can I have a mover? All right, Judy, and a seconder, Glenn. All in favor? Perfect, carried. Oh, sorry, all in favor? All in favor, perfect. Motion carried. Awesome. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Nope, there's none. Great. We're going to move on to the approval of the minutes. It's a recommendation that the minutes of the Municipal Heritage Committee meeting dated November 11th, 2025 be approved as circulated. Can I have a mover? Randy, seconder, Glenn, all in favor? Carried. Wonderful. Are there any deputations? Nope. Great, we're going to move on. And before we start our working group reports, Angela is just going to give us a brief breakdown of the working groups and what each working group is up to.
Thank you. Just the first item you'll see under working group reports is the working group establishment. So we thought it was appropriate with the new year to confirm the 3 working groups and just confirm that everyone still wants to be on the working groups that they're participating in. And we do also need a chair for the Doors Open working group. So with that, we'll just can proceed with the establishment or confirmation and establishment of the working groups.
Great, thank you, Angela. We are going to put up on the screen.
No, I'll do it at
No?
the end.
Oh, she's going to do it at the end.
start with
Great.
Heritage.
Perfect. We're going to go through, and if you would like to be on these working groups, I'd ask that you just raise your hand, and we're going to add you to the list. So the Heritage Recognition Working Group. So Glenn Silver, and so that usually is Glenn Silver and Judy Humphreys, myself, yes, and then we'll have to check with Paul. I'm not sure if Paul. And Richard, do you want to join this one? Okay, would you like to be on it? Okay, great.
I can put him on here and then we
Okay.
can remove him next time, because Paul
Yeah.
did bridge together for Build Heritage.
Yes, so we'll leave Paul on there, and if he wants to be removed, we can do that too. Okay. We're going to look at the Interpretive Signs and Plaques Working Group.
Okay.
So if you can raise your hand if you'd like to be on that group. So Judy Humphreys, Richard Tatley, Mary could not make it, but we're going to leave her on there, and we'll see. We'll just confirm. And myself, yes. And there is a new working group that has no members at this time, or previous members actually, from 2025. They'll be planning Doors Open for 2027. And that is Paul Cook. We'll leave him on there. And Randy, you want to stay on there? Judy, yes. And Mary Story. Perfect. Is there anybody else who wants to join the Doors Open working group? Nope. Okay.
Do you need a chair for that group?
Okay. So we're looking for a, yes, we have to go back through. Okay. We're going to look at the Doors Open working group first. We'll work backwards. Who would like to be the chair of the Doors working group? I'm looking at Randy.
Randy can't, sorry,
Randy can't be a chair. Judy?
I'd rather do a different one than that.
Okay.
So can we
Sorry,
suggest,
are you on this group as well?
I'm not on that group, no.
so can we suggest that maybe for the next meeting when Paul,
It would have to be Paul, Mary can't
it
be
would have to be Paul.
Okay, so we will leave that to the next meeting, and we'll make a decision on who that's going to be. Okay. Yep, sounds great. Thanks, Angela.
I will follow up and make sure.
Perfect. I'm going to jump to the interpretive signs and plaques working group. Okay, so I think Judy has her hand up.
I'd like to chair that one.
Okay.
And more fun.
Great. Just looking at the screen here. And then, anybody else? Nope. Great, we're going to go on to the Heritage Recognition Working Group. And Glenn Silver. Great, we're going to get that organized and displayed for friends. Great. Okay, so we have, oh, you have a question. I was just going to ask, are there any questions before? Oh, you have a question, perfect. We're going to make a motion first. So motion that the Municipal Heritage Advisory Committee following working groups are comprised of the following members. So I need a mover.
We've got Paul as the chair, if we're gonna do that.
Yes, we can change that later. Yeah, we'll confirm that after. Yeah, so Glenn.
I'll
Sorry.
second that.
Move. Randy is our seconder. All in favor? Glenn, beautiful. Motion carried. Randy, beautiful. And you have a question, Randy?
Are we gonna talk about the work plan at all, or
Yes, we are.
here? I'm just a thought I had is.
You touch your mic, that'd be awesome, thank you.
do with my-
It's not coming up.
There we go. Okay. No, I was just thinking, on the work plan, it might make sense to indicate which working group takes the lead on the various items, so we've got that was it. Very short and simple.
That's a great question, perfect. I will walk us through. So, looking at the MHC work plan for 2026, are we able to display that or no? It's also available on the website. So looking in the first section is just sort of talking about the Heritage Act. And, oh, Angela's gonna jump in. Great.
Thank you. I would just note that some of these items won't be specifically assigned to a working group. It will be committee as a whole. And I think, so for the first item, for example,
Yes.
would be committee as a whole.
Yes. And I'm thinking municipal register, that would be committee as a whole.
Sorry?
Randy, you had a question? No. No? Okay, great. All right, so looking at the municipal register, I think that's committee as a whole. Designation of properties, that would go under the Heritage Recognition Working Group. And if we had not previously come to the last meeting, the Heritage Recognition Working Group has created on the website. There are some forms that you can fill out to recognize your property. if you have an inquiry or you have a question, you can go right to the website and fill those out. So that's great. And that comes directly to us as a committee as a whole. All right, committee education, that's as a whole. Yeah. If we go down to promotional programs, property recognition, that goes under Heritage Recognition Working Group. And also, because I see the placking of properties, so that's Heritage Recognition Working Group. Ongoing promotion and website updates, that is also Heritage Recognition Working Group is working on that with Angela. The Built Heritage Awards, that's a subgroup of the Heritage Recognition Group. Community activities, that is a committee as a whole. If anyone has any questions or thinks it should be a different group, please let me know. Interpretive signage goes under the Interpretive Signs and Plaque Working Group. And Doors Open will go under the Doors Open Working Group. And that's on page 1 of 2. If you turn over to page 2 of 2, it's talking about survey, inventory, research, and document. Properties of interest, that's the Heritage Recognition Working Group. Continue to update the heritage inventory. That can be brought forward as anyone from the committee of the whole, but that would probably be the Heritage Recognition Working Group and the Interpretive Science Placking Group. Mapping of heritage properties, that's both of those working groups. And Muskoka Built, sharing that would be through Angela, so committee of the whole. If there's anything that we add or need to change, we'll be sharing that. A municipal review, zoning bylaw, and official plan, that goes through the chair. Are there any questions? Great. So we can access this, I believe, Angela, on the website, correct?
You will be able.
You will be able to. It will be coming up. Perfect. That's great. All right, and if there's no other questions, I'm going to look at new business. Under new business, Angela's going to talk about the 2026 financial update. Oh, I forgot the working group reports. Thank you. We'll circle back. We're going to go to the working group reports. We're going to start off with Mr. Glenn Silver. He's going to talk on behalf of the Heritage Recognition Working Group.
I don't have a whole lot to say. We haven't met this year yet, but we will. And we got a fresh amount of money to spend, so that's kind of nice. Thank you, Randy. Okay. And we will get together and start to look at the properties that we have in our list to approach a little bit quicker and hopefully plaque a few things before we have to step down at, I think in June. Is that correct?
June is the last meeting of this committee.
Okay.
So it doesn't mean that, the committee doesn't dissolve until end of September, beginning of October. Not exactly sure of the date. So the committee can continue working, but the last scheduled meeting is June.
Okay. So we'll keep that in mind and keep going. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. All right, we're going to move on to the Interpretive Signs and Plaques Working Group, which is Richard Tatley.
Madam Chairman, honorable colleagues, the Heritage Plaques Working Group has had one meeting this month, in fact, just yesterday, as a matter of fact, at Judy's home. And what we were doing there was refining the contents for what maybe we hope will be the first heritage plaque that we can get set up in Gravenhurst. And that, I think, will be one about James McCabe and his tavern at the south end of town, the first business enterprise in Gravenhurst. And more or less have the contents of the plaque worked out, at least to our satisfaction, subject to review by the committee as a whole. And then, in fact, thanks, Lindsay, for bringing it up. That's the content that we established so far. And we were also hoping that when we go on to the design committees that for the town, that they will be able to see whether they approve of the contents here or not, and if they have any other comments to make, and then we'll have to proceed from there. Maybe, Judy, you have some further observations to make?
Not exactly, Richard, but something that's a little bit different than what you saw yesterday is just the little inset box about Horton selling the hotel to Fuller, who named it the Queen's Hotel. We worked the Queen's Hotel into it just because that's the only way of getting that hotel onto an interpretive panel, and it is the first hotel in Gravenhurst. So we figured it should probably be there. We couldn't contact you, of course, by email or by message, whatever. So anyway, we've just included a little box, and behind the box, it has our photographs in it. We have a picture of the Queen's Hotel, which you can't see on the big screen, but behind me is the Queen's Hotel. Yeah, there we go.
And where was that?
That is basically started out with the property owned by Michael McCabe, Mickey McCabe, James McCabe, and he basically donated the site for the Anglican Cemetery and the First Anglican Church, and then from there, in 1867, when his wife died, he left, but he had already set up his home across the street from the Anglican Cemetery, down a little bit from there, between Nelson and Main Street. Yeah, it's on the west side. And so he started out on the east side, then moved down to the west side, over to the west side, established his hotel there, if you could call it a hotel. The hotel is really not a hotel until Benjamin Fuller takes it over, renames it the Queen's Hotel, enlarges it, and then establishes it roughly between Nelson and Main Street. So if you can kind of picture where we're talking, there's a little parkette right there that is owned by the town. It's just up a little bit from that. And then that panel then captures all of that, captures Mickey and Mother McCabe, and it captures the Queen's Hotel. Apologize for the voice. Oh, yeah, and we are going to design another plaque that will go on the reverse side of that, but we're just in the design stages of that right now, and it will probably deal with the Anglican Church and the Anglican Cemetery, which were donated. That land was donated by James McCabe, so it's related to him, and it will be on the reverse side of that, and it'll be right where those things are. And Angela and I were just talking about the piece of town land where that could conceivably be placed, that plaque, conceivably with reference to the infrastructure people. That little parkette might be as easy as anything because the town owns the land. If you try to put it near the cemetery, I suspect it's going to be a snow problem. Snow banks, snow removal, all that kind of stuff. And so if we just move it over and down a little bit, we're closer to where the Queen's Hotel was anyway, and probably a little bit closer to that original site. Glenn? Question?
Are there any questions for Richard and Judy?
Madam Chairman, just one brief additional remark. My feeling personally is that whether we can put something on both sides of a plaque will determine whether the plaque is parallel to the street or whether it's at right angles to the street. And if it's parallel to the street, probably there wouldn't be any point in putting a text on the back side because nobody would notice it. But I don't know whether that eventuality will arise or not. But anyway, I hope we can get two texts on one plaque. I mean, that would be double our money, so to speak. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard, for your update. Yes, thank you, Richard, for your update. I think Angela has something she wants to share.
Thank you. I would just add to that, the parquet, I will speak to the infrastructure department, just confirming that that's appropriate and bring any feedback back to the committee. And as well, I would just note that ideally with the signage program, everything is tied together, and when this sign goes through with the design and marketing, perhaps there's an opportunity to add the word downtown or something to that effect. But of course, we'll work through that as always with the marketing department. Thank you.
Great, and I think our hope too is to have these plaques included on the mapping, which I know that Angela's going to speak about later. Our chair's not here for the Doors Open Working Group. I wasn't sure if anyone from Doors Open had something to share. No? Okay. All right, we're going to go into other reports. There are none. Going on to unfinished business, there is none. Going into new business. So Angela's going to share the 2026 financial update with us.
Thank you. Emails were sent in December, but I just thought it was appropriate at this meeting to just advise committee, confirm, as already has been mentioned, council did approve the work plan for 2026, and Lindsay attended, the chair attended council and presented the work plan to council, and each of you should have a hard copy of that plan. So just wanted to confirm that that has been approved. And in conjunction with that, as was noted, council did approve the budget that was requested by this committee, and the appropriate resolution for that was brought forward by Councillor Jorgensen. And so just wanted to confirm that. The only other financial note at this time, a resolution was passed last January, that the committee would automatically renew annual membership with both the Community Heritage Ontario and the Architectural Conservancy of Ontario. So that is, I'm working on that. And if anyone who isn't currently receiving an email of the CHO newsletter and would like it, just let me know and I will make sure you get on that list. So that's really all, just confirmation of those items. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Does anyone have any questions for Angela? No? Great. Moving on. Angela's going to speak again about the heritage mapping updates on the website with us.
Thank you. This is really just, again, a follow-up to email that was sent on December 12th. I know that last year, in 2025, the committee really was requesting some mapping options to illustrate heritage in the town. And so without me going through all the things that weren't done or that couldn't be done, this is what has been done at no cost and it's just adding a link to an existing map and setting out how to navigate that map to find the existing heritage features. Lindsay requested, and I misunderstood the request at the beginning of the meeting, about the existing interpretive panels that have been installed. If they're on this map, they're not. So that's something that we can look at adding to that as well. So really, sorry, just to let you know that this is here, and it was felt that this is a reasonable mapping solution to get some heritage mapping on the same page, as the rest of the Heritage Committee matters.
Yes, previously it took a long time to get to it, so we had that moved right to our committee page. And can we look at some of the sites? Is that all right? Pull up some of those? If it'll work?
Takes a while.
Takes a while, okay. So if you scroll through and you have a lovely look, it has all of our designated properties. And it will have parks and facilities are on there as well. Yeah, so you'll have to put in heritage. That's okay, we're gonna have a look.
Well, that's a little clearer.
It's very sensitive.
It's okay, so you can zoom right in, and you can see right by street view where you would see these heritage buildings. And our hope is that we're going to add as many as we can. And when you click on these links, so could we click maybe Carnegie Library? Or one, I know, sorry. One of the ones there. Either one. It's right. That's okay, it's just, right by,
It's at the bottom.
yeah, that's it there. Is it gonna open? It should have it listed, so when you do look at it, it has an image. So if you scroll down, actually. Yeah, if you scroll down, like here's the Albert Hill building, there's pictures, and our hope is when you click on it, you will have a whole history of it. I know that Judy Humphreys does some wonderful talks on some of these places in Gravenhurst, and our hope is that we're going to link some of those talks right in there, so visitors, if they want to learn more, not only can they do their own self-guided walking tour, but they're going to see a picture of the building and the history of the building included right in there. So that's something that, yeah, that's something that we've been working on with the Heritage Recognition Working Group, and it's coming together, and it's looking great, but we're always open to more suggestions, and they've done a fantastic job putting those things in there, so it's great. Have a look online, check it out. All right, is there any questions about the heritage mapping for Angela? No, it's in the beginning stages, so it's going to turn out really great once we add more things into that, so. And hopefully we can get those interpretive panels that we put up in the last couple of years added on as well with some pictures and some history about like Swedetown and Archie Sloan as well, which would be great. All right, if there's no other questions, I'm going to move on to correspondence. There's no correspondence. And that was it. I need a motion to adjourn. Yeah. Glenn. As my mover, and my seconder is Judy. Can I have an all in favor? Wonderful, all in favor, motion carried. Our next, yes, we adjourned at 5:06. And our next meeting date is Tuesday, February 17th, 2026 at 4:30 p.m.